Well, it
was quite a good bout, brief.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but if it comes on top, we just walk away.
I'm certainly hoping to play. I think I feel like I justified a good shout for it by my performance on Saturday. So I kept a clean sheet and did okay. So I'm certainly looking forward to playing.
Forward. Serious. Delighted. Would you like it? Morris is there. Yeah.
Birmingham Airport, Wednesday morning, and the tension starts to build for Villa's latest foray into Europe. And though he may look ice cool with all his experience, it even gets to Big Ron. He, like the players, just wants to get on with the business in hand. Eventually, the flight is called and it's time for the team, press and supporters to board the 737 to take them to Malpensa Airport. A quick head count shows somebody's missing. Anybody seen Dalian? There's a bit of a snag concerning Dean Saunders.
Somebody's taken my boarding pass, messing about with it. Yeah.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah. One of the lads has got it, and they've gone on with it.
Let him on.
The broad smile of the Welsh wizard smooths things over, and there's one headache for the Villa and for Big Ron sorted out, thankfully.
And if you want to choose any 4 cards, sir, be free of it. And you remember check them first. Just on television.
I think it's time to start charging. It's time to start charging.
And these are 2, as you can see.
He's giving that strict.
And ace and a 2. I'm surprised. And the 4 and the 3.
Where's the other?
And there's the other 4 there. As you can see, these are the first 4 cards that I had. Okay, go on. Here we go. All right. Right, Doc. Messing around. Come on, Bob. Alright, as you can see here, slowly, as you can see, the 2 and the 4, and at the back there's the next. There's a 3, just to make sure. And the hands is actually quicker than the eyes here, by the way.
Oh, you don't talk in English, isn't it?
Can you see it? Have you seen it yet? Have you seen it? No? Have you not seen it? Look again. Look at the 2 and the 3. And these are at the back when they come in front. The 4 and the 2.
Good afternoon from the flight deck. Your first officer speaking. We're cruising at the moment at 33,000 feet.
It's been a hard night's day already for the players. Everybody now safely strapped in for the next couple of hours. Time for a bit of shut-eye, possibly the only real relaxation they'll get over the next 36 hours. All of the preparation at home has now been done. Time to think about a victory in Italy's hotbed of soccer, a win in the Giuseppe Meazza Stadium. Hopefully then the stuff that dreams are made of will become reality. Blackpool on a Sunday? No, this is Milan on a Wednesday. The San Siro has looked better.
That night in training, it absolutely lashed down. It started off, it was a nice night, and then all of a sudden there was a black cloud appeared, and then it just lashed down. I've never seen anything like it. So the lads were sort of going to the side or behind the goals where there was cover, and then eventually the pitch was just waterlogged and we had to go in. So the preparation wasn't the best, but it's just something you have to put up with.
Whilst the players are getting ready for their big night ahead, the British consulate in Milan was laying on a special meet and greet lunch for the media and officials. The weather had changed to a more typical Italian day. Nigel Kennedy, of course, is there too, and the photographer wants to capture the moment for posterity. Problem is, the cameraman's having a bit of difficulty and is just about to encounter Italian furniture.
Oh, nice one.
How old is that violin?
The Italian violin I've got is made in 1735, but this one has been made in 1991, so it has a slightly less vintage. But it is a historic exhibit because it's got all of Villa's signatures on it of the team which went to Spain last year. That was called Tuning Up. I think maybe a bit of Italian music might be fitting in this beautiful country, and so I'm going to play a bit of... There's an unknown composer called Antonio Vivaldi. I'll play a little bit of his Four Seasons. This number I've always thought represents the way that Fashanu is going to treat the opposing defenders today.
We'll leave the strains of Vivaldi as the press bus sets off for the San Siro and today's talking points in English football.
Here's Ian Wright saying the referee was a muppet straight from television show. You can quote me on that. When you get suspended, we'll blame it all on the media. Yeah.
When the draw was made, I think everybody thought of playing in such a good stadium and against such a good side. And looking forward to it immensely.
The Villa faithful, who forked out a lot of their hard-earned cash, get their first view of this magnificent stadium.
Anyhow, it's a great stadium, one of the best in the world. I've seen it before. Yeah.
We could actually physically hear the Villa supporters, you know, and that was a big plus to us, stepping out and seeing so many Villa supporters. And this time they weren't plonked so high up in the sky, you know, whereas they couldn't be heard anyway. They were more on the side this time, and it was a great boost to us to hear them and to see so many of them.
Right up to the Turkish focus on that end.
Go away! You're agitating me.
The end of the match, I need a photo with you. It's possible.
It's possible, my friend.
I'm waiting you here.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
Especially if we win 5-0.
Of course. Okay.
We all.
All the hype, build-up and predictions have come to an end. Now it's time for the boots to start doing the talking. Kevin Richardson leads the team out. For some players, it's their first taste of European action. For others with World Cup experience over the Italians in America, it's a chance to inflict even more grief on the Serie A players. Despite the San Siro not being full, it's still a very intimidating atmosphere in which to play. Villa's training session in the wet on the previous day, not ideal preparations to beat the odds in the Giuseppe Meazza. The flags, the flares, all the things you associate with Italian football are there. As for Big Ron, well, he's seen it all before, hasn't he? For those who weren't there, just take a few minutes now to soak up the flavour of a fiercely contested match.
Personally, I was a bit disappointed. I expected a lot more from them with having so many good players there. But whether that was a case of the lads playing well defensively on the night, and which didn't cause them, they couldn't cause any problems forward. Whether that was credit for us or disappointment for them.
I mean, initially when the ball broke clear to him, I hesitated a little bit coming out for the ball, and then when I did come out, I got a slight flick on the ball, and you know, he theatrically fell over me. There was no physical contact at all between the two of us. I didn't make contact with him. I made contact with the ball, so you know, that's not a penalty in my books.
Brave battle by Villa and a 1-0 scoreline, no disgrace against a pedigree Italian side. The lads have done Ron Atkinson proud, but there's no doubting what the team will be talking about in the dressing room.
Poxy penalty.
Up to the time of the goal, we must have been very pleased with the general discipline of the team.
Well, we were scrapping, we were battling, we were defending very well. I'd like to have seen us play with more control. I thought the first 45 minutes we played with a lot of control. With people like Bergkamp, with people like Sosa, there is always a threat at any given time. But as I say, we blocked out an awful lot of shots. Probably Pagliuca made more good saves than we had to make.
What's your view on the penalty, Robert?
I thought we were very, very unfortunate. I mean, Nigel was a little bit hesitant at first, and then, the way I saw it, and I don't know, I got the impression that he definitely got a touch on the ball before Sosa went over. After that, we actually looked as if we might get ourselves a goal again. But we would know before we came here that whatever the result of this match was, the second leg was always going to be a tussle, and that's how it is.
There's no peace for the wicket. Training starts again, now and again, in earnest.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that stuck with us was the fact that I played what I call the Irish-American thing, or the Irish-Italian thing from America, i.e. the four boys in our team that all played against the Italian national side in New York and got a result. And I'd made up my mind that I was going to use that beat as a psychological thing or whatever, or certainly for their experience and know-how in beating top Italian sides. And I think that basically is it. We said we'll play it as a one-off match. I mean, if it would have been 2 or 3-0 adrift from the San Siro, it would have been different thinking. But at 1-0, you could afford really to play it as a one-off match. I looked at it and thought I'd got to get my strongest outfield balance. Now, we were very, very near to playing Dwight York alongside, as well as Dean Sanders, which would have meant that Paul McGrath or Steve Staunton would have had to have stood down. Now, fortunately, the way it turned out on the night, we didn't do that, and those two players had magnificent games.
Aston Villa in the claret and blue, Inter Milan back in their normal colours of blue and black stripes. Villa attacking the goal to our right. Important, of course, that Villa keep a disciplined approach and a disciplined pattern to their side here. There's no good charging forward looking for the goal. They have to remember that they've got 90 minutes to get it. Staunton winning the first free kick for Villa, which either he or the captain Richardson will take. Daly and Atkinson a likely target. Ugo Ehiog is also forward, and Paul McGrath now arriving in the box to add his weight. It was a dangerous ball. Conte got it clear. Played in behind Houghton to Bergkamp. Boos for him from the Villa fans. Well won back there by King. Spink's first kick was a bit loose, straight to Nicola Berti. And that was a dangerous ball. Fortunately for Spink, he just overhit it. Barrett leaving it to Houghton, who came on as a substitute in Milan. Saunders had an excellent game in the first leg and is now on another free kick.
Alan, the referee's early on setting the tone for this game. I mean, he's blown up twice when you could have forgiven him for not even giving anything, so he's going to be very finicky. But I think that's going to suit Villa. They're at home, they're going to be doing the pressing.
Staunton and Richardson again, the two Villa players over the ball here. And it's Staunton who hits it, and it was a great effort. Spectacularly caught by Gianluca Pagliuca. Well, that'll certainly encourage Villa. And they're coming forward in waves already here. Barrett joining the attack. It wasn't a good ball. Conte got it clear. Good effort, that free kick, though, Kevin.
Yeah, difficult one. I think a nice one for the keeper, though. When you cost £7.5 million, you're expected to catch them. But nevertheless, always a dangerous ball, left-footed, swinging in. It's sort of a new one that has come on the scene over the last couple of years.
Turned on by Richardson. Saino's little back header wasn't what he intended. Atkinson wins it back for Villa. Now Barrett. Turned in towards Saunders. The layoff for Atkinson. Big night for Dalian Atkinson, of course. He lost his place at the beginning of the season to John Fashanu, but he's in the starting lineup tonight with a lot to prove.
It's a great ball in, great awareness from Saunders, and if he'd have gone in, it'd been one of the goals of the season, but it's in the top row of the second tier of the stand. But he's the sort of player who can win it for him tonight, Dalian Atkinson. On his day, he is exceptional.
Header clear by Paganini. Villa keep the pressure on early on here. King forward, looking for Saunders. Bergkamp gets it clear, and then the sweep up Beer. And the foul by King gives Inter Milan their first free kick.
Alan, I was here, last time I was here for a cup tie, Tranmere Rovers played here and played very well. And I thought the atmosphere that night was something special. But tonight, it's just electric, it really is.
Staunton turning it on, one back by Fester. Bergkamp. This is Bergkamp. Ehio. Nice layoff from Saunders. On it goes to Dalian Atkinson, and there was a late challenge then on Richardson which the referee didn't seem to see. The Villa players are now drawing his attention to Richardson, who was lying on the ground injured a moment ago.
Two fouls for nothing, and he's missed the main one, which is that one from Bergkamp, which I think is a bad late tackle. I hope he's going to watch for the big ones as well as the finicky ones.
Here's Houghton. King and Staunton again in close attendance down Villa's left. King. Headed away by Beer. Saino. Sosa coming very deep to receive it and found Conte. Now Berti, who looked Inter's most dangerous player in Milan. Villa found it very difficult to mark his deep runs from midfield. Spink's clearance has gone straight back to Berti. Now Saino. Sosa a bit lucky to get that back. Defended superbly again. Barrett. Houghton. Conte wins it back. A rather nervous clearance from Beer. It's gone straight to Townsend. This is Staunton. Easy catch really for Pagliuca, the world's most expensive goalkeeper. Richardson going in strongly, he did well there. And Townsend did even better and was quite blatantly fouled then, although the whistle had gone moments before, and the free kick, in fact, has gone Milan's way. They were rather lucky then.
I don't know, Alan. I think because he's putting his studs in, Richardson, on the continent, more so than in England, that's a free kick every time.
Yes, there is often a different interpretation from country to country of challenges that here in England we would regard as food and drink every Saturday. But I think that would be a foul in anyone's book. Tremendous atmosphere here. It's more like 60,000 than 30,000, the noise these Villa fans are making. Houghton. On to King. He's asking an awful lot of Staunton. Crescendo of boos every time Inter Milan win back possession, and then great cheers when they give it away as carelessly as that. Darko Panchev, who scored 17 in 28 internationals for Yugoslavia, starting a match along with the other two of Inter's foreigners, Sosa the Uruguayan and Bergkamp the Dutchman, for the first time since they all came together at the club.
Yeah, it's a frightening trio on paper. It just remains to be seen how well they play together as a unit. And at the start, I think Ron Atkinson will be delighted because they're pressurising and making Inter Milan panic a little bit at the back, which has surprised me a little bit. And I think he'll be delighted with certainly the first few minutes of this game.
Inter, of course, a vastly experienced side. They've won this competition twice in the last 4 seasons. Here's Houghton for Aston Villa. Great break made from a deep position by Townsend, and he finds him. Saunders turning it on. Bergkamp underneath it. And Villa scrapping for every ball. He was a bit unlucky there, Townsend. Bergkamp making a run for Inter. It's a fine run deep into Villa territory. Panchev peels away into a good position. Bertie's shot! It hits the bar. Panchev with the rebound! Well, when they look back on that moment, Inter Milan might curse their luck.
It all started from Bergkamp here. He lays a beautiful ball. What a strike this is. He's all beaten all ends up, Spinks. It comes right back to Panchev. This happened a year or two ago when he was in Yugoslavia. That would have been in the net. But for some reason, since he joined Milan, they're not going in for him. It's a great strike.
Well, it's little moments like that that tend sometimes to make players think, is it going to be one of those nights? Panchev really ought to have scored, I think, and the ball came back out to him. Villa gratefully accept the let-off. But it just shows you what a thin dividing line this tie is on for Aston Villa. Here's Bergkamp again. Remember, if Inter were to score an away goal, then Aston Villa would be in a near impossible situation. Though nothing in football is impossible. Here goes Saunders. And back off him, Pagliuca.
For players like Dean Saunders and Dalian Atkinson tonight, a totally different experience. They're very, very good at man-to-man marking, the Italians. They do it every week, every day of their life in training. And this will be a big test for them. And I think it's very important for Villa that they get some joy against the very experienced defenders of Milan.
Houghton. Saunders' willingness to keep running and weaving and working for positions is such an important part of Villa's game. But Inter have it back again with Bergkamp. This is Ruben Sosa, the Uruguayan. Terrific little play, offside. Panchev turns to see the linesman's flag raised. And the referee wisely says play on. Houghton runs straight into Bertie. And Richardson's given it away. This is Bergkamp. Bergkamp, I think, echoing everyone's views when he said it's far too early in a competition of this stature for 2 clubs of this size to come together. To think that one of these sides has got to go out, such a shame. Here's Nicola Berti. Bergkamp. And he did well to find Sosa. Panchev points to the far post, looks for the cross in there. It was too deep, but Bergkamp retrieves it. And King just prevents the corner. Well played. It's back to Saino. Now Bergkamp. Townsend's tackle. The referee waves play on. Conte goes in hard with Houghton. Now Daly and Atkinson, well played. And that's a tremendous ball. Well, Festa was at full stretch to keep that away from Saunders. Great play by Daly and Atkinson.
Please give us 90 minutes of the first 15. Another 75 would be brilliant. Tremendous pace, tremendous commitment, and full of intrigue as well, because Milan on the break. I mean, everyone talks about Bergkamp. I think this Sosa is something very, very special, and he needs to be watched for 91 minutes if you're only playing 90.
Pulsating opening to this match here, and Conte has given the ball away to Richardson, the Villa captain. Townsend, King, and now Staunton. Villa temporarily down to 10 men, by the way. Dean Saunders is off the field having treatment. Nicola Berti, Giuseppe Bergami, Berti again. Here's Saino. Richardson going in strongly. Got a crack on the head, Dean Saunders, but he's okay to return. Jim Walker, the physio, has done his magic tricks. McGrath's clearance goes straight to Bergami. This looks dangerous. Panchev and Sosa combining in the middle, but Ekiot comes out with the ball. Now Barrett. Richardson. Atkinson's made room nicely, but whipped away from him by Paganini. Rather theatrical dive, and it didn't fool the referee. And now Villa looking convincing on the counter here with Townsend. They've got 4 men against 5 inter-defenders. King's cross. Staunton whips it across goal. That's so inviting. If either Atkinson or Saunders had been 5 yards further forward, then Inter were in trouble.
It's a great little ball here from King. Look at that. Beautiful. If it'd been an Italian dude, we'd be really raving about it. Great ball in. But where are the forwards going in? I don't think they expected it. It just came too quick. Great ball, this one from King. Look at the spin on it, helping him. Superb ball in from Stone. Nobody there.
Well, Aston Villa earned the right to be in this competition by beating Manchester United, of course, last season in the Coca-Cola Cup final, their first trophy since they won the European Champions Cup itself back in 1982. And this is certainly one of Villa's biggest nights since. And again, Houghton crossing into the danger zone, but Pagliuca had plenty of time to see it. Houghton, of course, scored against the Italian goalkeeper for Ireland in their opening match of the World Cup in the summer. I'm sure we all remember that goal. Atkinson on to Saunders. Houghton. Support from Barrett. And now Richardson. Saunders twisted straight into trouble, unfortunately. Or Houghton, rather. And a good ball forward to Bergkamp. McGrath with the interception. Now Conte. This is Beer. Saino. Villa have it back with McGrath. And it looks as though Dean Saunders might have to come off. Guy Whittingham, one of the Villa substitutes, getting ready to come on. And that's a big blow to Villa.
Yeah, you said he's got an head injury. I think he's done something to his rib area the way he's running. And once you start getting a smash in the ribs, It really does affect you. You know, it affects your wind, it affects you. You're running about, and his movement's not good at the moment. He's waiting to be subbed, I think, I'm sure.
Here's Conte. Hamilton wins it back. Late challenge there by Conte on Barrett. The crowd certainly saw it, the referee didn't. Seno. Festa. Sosa. Now Bergkamp. Dwelt a little too long on the ball, but it bounces kindly for Inter. Panchev, Bergkamp. Now Conte. Good football in the Villa half. Seno. But it will be frustrating for Villa if they can keep playing like this, Inter, but the final ball by Conte wasn't a good one. Saunders still limping a little. He obviously injured his hip in that collision as well, and he seems to be signalling to the touchline that he can't continue. Townsend. And he didn't run at all freely onto that through ball either, Saunders. He's obviously in trouble. What a shame. Bergkamp. Panchev. Seno trying to play in Sosa, but it's much too deep. And they can't get Whittingham on because the ball simply hasn't gone out of play for a long spell now. He's ready. As soon as the ball's out of play, I imagine he'll be on. Given away by Bertie to Houghton. Atkinson to his right. What a disappointing ball, though, by Ray Houghton.
The only thing that's let Villa down in this first 20 minutes or so has been the final ball. Everything else has been good, the build-up good, nice and positive.
Sosa. Panchev. Bergkamp provides the width. Panchev. Bergkamp again, good football, back again to the captain. Excellent play this by Inter, now Bergkamp. Tried to find the far corner, but that's a goal kick. Give Villa the opportunity to make the substitution. Guy Whittingham, who struggled for a regular place here since his £1 million move from Portsmouth, he comes on to take the place of Dean Saunders. Good player, Guy Whittingham, good penalty box player, prolific scorer in his Portsmouth days, but they're going to miss Dean Saunders, Kevin.
Of course, I mean, it's one of the sad things in football when you lose a key player so early in a game. But make no mistake, this lad Whittingham, he's got pace, and he's got enough pace to worry them, you know.
Houghton finding Atkinson, back again to the Irishman, and onto the other Irishman, Staunton. Into the intended target of Whittingham, back out to King. Staunton. That's a good ball. Oh, just headed away by Pagliuca, and the shot by Houghton. Pagliuca down to his right to save.
Great ball in. This is a better area. He's a little bit further forward. A good head back, and it drops. And I suppose the finish, well, he did well to score from there, but he could have hit it better.
Here's Richardson. Staunton. He was caught in two minds then and gave the ball away. But won it back superbly off Bergkamp. Houghton. Barrett overlapping down the right. Atkinson and Whittingham in the middle. He's chosen a difficult route, and that's a goal kick.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pace, Earl Barrett. He's got to use that pace to get in positions where he can deliver balls tonight, because it's the full-backs who are going to get the space. And he's certainly got plenty of pace. Sometimes I think his final ball in is not as good as it could be, but you can level it out at most full-backs, and some people say that's why the full-backs.
I bet you wouldn't dare to tell Tommy Smith that in his day.
Tommy Smith was a great user of the ball and a great player. I hope he's listening.
Here's Barrett again. Whittingham getting his first touch. Richardson. Houghton. Knocked clear, or only half clear by Festa. And Pagliuca takes control.
When you look at the European competitions, I mean, we saw last night not such a good game. I think the league system gives you a chance to get a draw and it's a good result, but both teams know what they've got to do tonight, and for different reasons they're going about the task in a very positive way.
Yes, you must pay credit to Inter Milan. There's no hint of them sitting back with 10 men behind the ball. Townsend's just won a free kick for Villa.
The very lineup made you think, as Trevor Francis said at the start, that they're looking to get a goal, because a goal means that obviously Villa have got to score 2, and against the Italians defensively that's always difficult.
Richardson playing it in. Whittingham! That was nearly a very dramatic introduction for Guy Whittingham. He sneaked round the blind side of the defenders and has earned a corner. It could have been better.
Great ball in, and the defender does very well actually, and knocks it, gets the first touch.
McGrath turns the header goalwards. Hiog almost reached it. Well, let's hear what the problem was for Dean Saunders. He's down there on the touchline now with Gary Newbon.
Dean, what was the problem exactly?
I just got a whack on the hip, I think. I felt something go down in the corner there, and you know, normally I can just run him off, but it would just carry me for about 15 minutes, so I thought it best if I come off, I couldn't run.
What exactly was the injury?
I think I just got a whack on the pelvis, just in the side of my pelvis, and I say I don't know whether I whacked it or I pulled something. I felt something go in the corner.
Villa back on the attack, minus Dean Saunders. Guy Whittingham in his place now. Townsend. Good ball back and whipped in towards Houghton, but it was Bertie back defending well and then fouled by Ray Houghton. Bertie, who scored in the away leg of the final against Salzburg last season and scored in Inter Milan's 3-0 win 4 years ago when these two sides met. Remember, Aston Villa had led 2-0 from the first leg that time, but were buried 3-0 on a sad night for them in Milan. Plays it long. Inter Milan have won the European Champions Cup twice back in the mid-60s and been in 4 finals in all. The last 22 years ago, they used to be one of the great sides in Europe and the top club in Italy. But last season was the worst in their history. After 86 years uninterrupted in the top division, they almost went down. They avoided relegation only by 1 point. However, they won the UEFA Cup. There's McGrath. And the clearance blocked by Bergkamp. It's gone to Conti. Bertie. Good tackle by Houghton, and the referee had seen a foul by Nicola Bertie. Villa's free kick. Great run by Townsend in the inside right position. It's gone to Barrett. Now Townsend. Houghton. It's good pressure by Bergkamp, forcing him all the way back. Spink gets plenty of height on the clearance. Atkinson underneath it. And it breaks kindly for Houghton. He scored against Pagliuca in the World Cup from that sort of position. This time he laves it off, and it goes in towards Whittingham, and Conti got it clear, but Whittingham was pushing him in the back, and the free kick goes Milan's way.
That's a better ball in this time. I know they didn't get any reward for it, but I think they've got to miss the front post out and get it to the big men at the back. They've got plenty of height now there with Whittingham. He's useful in the air, and of course Atkinson on his day can beat anybody. He does get up there and he holds himself up there.
20 minutes of the first half remaining. It's still Aston Villa 0, Inter Milan 0. Remember, of course, Milan lead 1-0 on aggregate. John Fashanu is another of Ron Atkinson's options, of course, when Dean Saunders was injured, but he has this ankle injury that he's going to have an operation on next week, and maybe it was in Ron's mind he couldn't last the whole period he would have needed to be on. Sosa. Seno. That's a good-looking ball, and Panchev met it, but fortunately headed high rather than low.
Yeah, Keogh showing a little bit of inexperience there. Just got caught ball watching. If it was a great ball in, but he's come to it. He's got beat, and really, again, I think he may have just got a touch on that, Alan, which was enough to put Panchev off. The best two chances so far have fallen to Panchev, and he's not looked the most confident of strikers.
So he hasn't really been a success since he went to Inter, and indeed I think Inter have let it be known around European clubs that he's available for transfer. So it was a shock that Ottavio Bianchi, the coach, picked him at all tonight.
Well, maybe he's just thrown the gauntlet to him and said, go on, prove what a good player you are. You can't have lost what you had. I mean, he was a great player in Yugoslavia, as it then was, and he was scoring goals for fun internationally at the very highest level. And I think what the coach has done there, he's just said to him, go on. What a stage to prove yourself on, and it is a great stage here at Villa Park.
Houghton with a good challenge, wins it back again for Villa. It looked like a foul on Whittingham, and that's the way the French referee saw it as well.
No place for pansies out there, Alan, is there? It's been a tough start, no quarter given or rest.
King a bit lucky to get that back off Bergkamp, the Inter-captain, and now finds his own skipper, Richardson. Lifted into Atkinson. The header drops tamely into the path of Nurko Conti. Sloppy layoff from Panchev, and he was lucky. Now Sosa. It's a good ball. Panchev tried to play it back, and nothing's gone right for him yet, fortunately for Villa. Aston Villa are not in the best of form domestically at the moment. In fact, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. The only success in that period, a 5-0 win here last week against Wigan Athletic in the Coca-Cola Cup. Wigan Athletic, who incidentally played in a strip that was identical to Inter Milan's tonight. There the similarity, with all due respect to Wigan, ends. Richardson. Houghton. Too sloppy with possession against Italian players so capable of keeping the ball themselves, and a Dutchman and a Uruguayan who can join in as well. Sosa. Panchev peeling away again on the far post. Chance for a shot here, and he saw Spink moving towards the far post and tried to catch him on the near.
So dangerous. Bergkamp again causing the problems. He's not just a goal scorer, he's much more than that. And Sosa, he's predominantly left-footed, but he goes inside, and I tell you, if he'd have aimed it just where he wanted it, Spink may have got it, but it wouldn't have been an easy save for him to make.
Whittingham going in hard on Festa, but the defender finds Sosa. Seno, Bergkamp. That's good play. And still Bergkamp. Villa looked a bit stretched then. Houghton. Atkinson. The pace of this game is remarkable. It's just been unrelenting from the first minute. King. Atkinson.
Hey! I don't know if Villa are playing Saturday, Alan, but it's going to be tough on Thursday, whoever they've got. Not looked at the fixtures.
I think it could be a team from the northeast. Richardson knocking it back in for Whittingham, who went in bravely with the keeper. That was unlucky. Pagliuca's complaining at the referee that Whittingham went in with his boot raised high. I think he was right. Ehia. King. That's a poor ball straight to Andrea Seno. Now Ruben Sosa. Panchev peeling away again into space for Sosa, who finds him. Sosa himself in the middle. Seno arriving edge of the box. This is Bergkamp. Still Bergkamp. Houghton knocking it long. He couldn't do much else there, really.
I can remember the day, Alan, not too long ago when the Italian side would have come here with a 1-0 lead and sat back and said, right, you come and score against us. But the game's changed worldwide. Maybe it's the new rules, maybe it's just the players that are being bred now, but they're so adventurous that they're actually taking the game to Villa whenever any chance they get, you know, which is making for a tremendous game.
Do you think that's helping Villa or hindering them?
Well, I think neither, because, I mean, obviously they've got to be fully aware that they mustn't give a goal away, but at the same time it does create space. And I mean, Villa, with the pace they've got up front, should be able to exploit that, providing the service to the front men is a little bit better than it's been so far.
There's Bergkamp for Inter Milan. Given away to Houghton. Atkinson finds some room and then finds Richardson. On to Barrett. Houghton. 3 players zoned in then on Barrett the moment he received the ball. Good play by Seno, one of the new signings for Inter Milan in the summer. From Foggia. McGrath cleaning up nicely for Villa. Seno under it again. Ehio had to win that header. Here's Bergkamp, one of only 3 players in the Milan side left from the last time the sides met 4 years ago. Villa, in fact, have only got 2, Spink and McGrath. Here's Nicola Berti. Paganin with the long ball forward. King. Sosa pressurising him. And he's given it away. But so too has Seno. Houghton. Well, Atkinson's control let him down then, and it has to be instant with defenders of the quality that Inter Milan have out there. Giovanni Bier, another of their new signings. McGrath's clearance. El Barrett. Whittingham did well to take it off Berti then and find Houghton. But just as quickly as the space opened up, it was closed off again. McGrath. Misunderstanding between Ehio and Spink, and Ehio realised at the 11th hour that he had to make an intervention. Well, that was an almighty mess. It could have cost Villa dear, Kevin.
Yes, this is a little bit of inexperience, because he can go and get this ball and see it back, but he thinks, oh no, I won't bother, and then luckily he's got enough pace to get him out of the trouble. Does very well in the end.
But Inter have a corner out of it, their first of the game. Sosa takes it, wasn't a very good one. Whittingham was tripped, and Villa will breathe a sigh of relief. They've got a free kick.
I suppose they were shouting to each other, but in this atmosphere, I wouldn't be surprised if they can't hear a thing. I mean, it is unbelievably noisy down here.
Nigel Spink got away with a little bit of luck on his side then, so did Ehio. And remember, Villa had a bit of luck as well. In the nearest incident we've had to a goal yet, with Berti hitting the post. Bergkamp just sees it out of play. Vastly experienced player. He is his 15th season at Inter Milan, and the only player left, incidentally, who is in Italy's World Cup winning side back in 1982. Bergkamp, the only member of that team still playing regularly at the top. It's his 88th European tie, a record for Italian football. Festa. Given away to King. Staunton. Good ball for Richardson. Nice little knock down the line, and back it goes from Townsend to Staunton and on to Houghton. Good-looking cross. Atkinson tried to climb. It comes out to Richardson, who hit it, but too high.
That's the best move of the match so far for Villa. Ron Atkinson will be delighted with that. That is the way to play the Italians. A lot of quality passing to get to this point. A good ball in. And he just wouldn't come down for Richardson. He had to just wait. They'd be disappointed maybe with the final effort.
Hardly missed a game in his 4 seasons now with Aston Villa, Kevin Richardson. Always one of the first names that Ron Atkinson writes on the team sheet. Difficult ball here for Spink, with Sosa running at him. Conte heads the clearance straight back to the Villa keeper. Here's Barrett. Into Atkinson. And that's a Villa throw off Pagliuca. Atkinson to Houghton. On it goes, and Houghton again with a chance here! Struck it well, but straight at Pagliuca.
Another great little move there from Villa. If they keep playing like this, they're eventually going to make a goal. Great move, 1-2, keeps moving. The only thing he's guilty of there is hitting it too well. Straight at the keeper. He could have done with cutting the neck off it, as they say.
I must say, Aston Villa are playing some superb football at the moment, defensively as well as in the inter-half. Ehio. Houghton. Barrett. Townsend making a break down the centre. He spotted him but couldn't find him. Paganini. Given away to Barrett. Conte always favourite to get there, but Houghton was strong enough to win it back again. Richardson. Beer got it clear. Now Sosa. Panchev trying to get in here behind King, but that was very good defending by Phil King. Signed from Sheffield Wednesday. Richardson. Whittingham makes the run, but again, the last defender, Beer, spotted the danger.
I think both sides are going to be ready for half-time, and I would have said they're waiting for a cup of tea, but they have this isotonic stuff now, and it seems to do something for them, and they'll need all of that if the second half's going to be like this, because it's been a ferocious pace.
And an eminently watchable game. Ruben Sosa for Inter, who still have that 1-0 aggregate lead. But 0-0 on the night. Villa. Straight to Ehio. Headed back in by Festa. Richardson's there to get it clear to Whittingham. Now Houghton. Atkinson. Houghton. Good ball, Richardson finding King on the left. Ehio. That's an excellent ball. King. And he finds Townsend. Chance here! Well, he went for the glory shot when really he should. It's easy for me to say up here. I'd be interested to hear what Kevin thinks. He should really have looked for Atkinson or Whittingham.
Well, I think he gets lucky. I don't think he means to play that ball, Staunton, but from here, well, he's a hero if he goes in, but you're a villain if you shoot with... He did have options. Great situation. They must start to make some of these pay.
Well, what a moment that would have been for Villa to get back level on aggregate. But they're playing well enough to score, there's no question about that. Goal attempts indicate what a good open football match this is.
Yeah, when people talk about no goals and games needing goals, this one needs one because we want Villa to win, being English, but it doesn't need one to be any better a game.
Here's Houghton, and he's got one! And Villa take the lead, and the tie is level!
been getting better quality in now. And I think it's Bergkamp who comes off his head, and Ray Houghton's beat him again. He'll end up having a signed picture from this fella if he keeps doing it. We'd expect him to finish from here. He does it so well.
Ray Houghton's first goal of this season could not have been better timed. We have 3 minutes of the first half remaining. Aston Villa 1, Inter Milan 0, and now both teams are level on aggregate. And I just hope the atmosphere here at Villa Park is coming across to you at home. It is really something special. Well, psychologically, to get a goal just before half-time, I always think it's almost worth 2 goals. But the first half isn't over yet. Sosa for Inter Milan. It was a bit of an obvious dive, I thought, but it was still not spotted by the referee, and King would do well not to get involved here. When you put a hand on another player's shirt like that, you might end up in trouble. I think King was angry initially because Sosa, for my money, blatantly dived. Let's have a look.
I think there's no doubt about it, but Phil King's got any sense, he'll keep out of the way. Because it was a foul, he just moved out of the way.
Free kick it is. Sosa himself will take it. Well played, Spink. But Conte onto the rebound, drives it in. Villa just had enough bodies in the way. Now Atkinson. Whittingham. Back to Atkinson again. This is superb stuff from Aston Villa. Daly and Atkinson. Playing for handball, and it was too. Villa's free kick in a dangerous position. Is he asking too much for another Villa goal before half-time? He doesn't think so. It's a good position, this.
Be a great time to get another goal.
The noise is incredible here. It'll be louder still if they get another goal now. Committed so many men forward for the free kick here, Villa. Penalty area packed with bodies. All kinds of jostling for position going on. It's whipped in towards Whittingham, but Saino got it away. Houghton, the goal scorer. Offside, unfortunately, Richardson. But I think although Kevin, Villa had luck at one end when Bertie hit the post, and a bit of luck at the other end when Bergkamp headed straight back to Houghton, they deserve to be in front.
I think they've just edged this first half, and I think they've played tremendously well, and they've worked hard for everything they've got, but they're so dangerous on the break into Milan that you just get a feeling there's a lot more to this book to be written, you know?
No, absolutely. Here's Ruben Sosa trying to find a chapter to himself, but that's a printer's error, that one. McGrath, Atkinson, Beer, Paganini. Well played in a tight situation, he did well. But so did Barrett for Villa. Paganini's still in there, battling away for the ball. And Barrett has conceded the free kick. A harsh decision, I felt, by the French referee. We're into stoppage time. Villa lead 1-0 on the night. It's 1 each on aggregate. And they really are performing admirably here, Aston Villa. Whatever happens in the second half, their first half performance is one to be proud of. Cahill. Richardson.
Yeah, to the credit, Alan, they've lost a key player in Dean Saunders, but they haven't really missed him up to now, and that's credit to the players who, I mean, certainly Whittingham was come on, but all the other players have taken a little bit of his job away.
Danger here as Thornton gets into the Inter penalty area. King whipping it in. It's a good one. Whittingham's header. Still danger. And the keeper took a risk coming out then. He's got away with it though. And in fact the whistle's gone. And that's it. That's the end of an absolutely enthralling first half here at Villa Park. And that goal is going to make life a lot easier for Ron Atkinson in his half-time team talk. And it's going to make life a lot happier for these Villa fans. Just what they needed. Houghton's strike gives us a half-time score at Villa Park of Aston Villa 1, Inter Milan 0, 1-1 an aggregate. What a second half we have in prospect here, as Inter Milan get the second half underway here. And I can answer Trevor Francis's query, by the way. Both Bianchi and Jonk, two midfield players who played for Inter in the first leg a fortnight ago, are injured and therefore are not available for selection tonight, or at least that's the official line from Inter. Here's Ruben Sosa, the Uruguayan. He's brought down and earns the first free kick of the half, or does he? No, in fact the referee's given the decision the other way, and Senor Sosa not too happy with that. Villa delighted.
I hope that's a shade of things to come, because what he did there, he did give the original decision to Sosa, and then because of his reaction, Alan, he changed it, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Here's Daly and Atkinson.
Certainly not for Villa anyway.
No complaints from the home team. Any favours going, they will accept. And Bergkamp, he certainly gave them one, didn't he, in that incident that led to Houghton's goal. There's a terrible ball by Sosa, turned straight back to Townsend. Now Staunton. Lay off by Whittingham. Townsend. Cleared by Aganin. This is Ehiog. Sosa. And Whittingham never really had much hope of receiving that. And that's an excellent cross, and it had Pagliuca, the goalkeeper, in two minds. However, Conte forces it out.
Been very impressed with Conte. He's worked very, very hard. He's had to. He's done a lot of tracking back. He's the midfield player Trevor was on about who they needed, but they needed a little bit more skill from him when they get the ball.
Bit of a wild clearance there has given possession back to Villa again. Phil King. Say no. That's a free kick to Inter.
Have we had any bookings so far in this game?
We haven't, and strangely enough, in the first leg a fortnight ago in Milan, there was only one player booked in the match there as well, which was Ugo Ehiog.
This has been the Charity Shield at the start of the season. There'd have been about 8 players, but only for silly little things, you know. But it seems now like common sense has prevailed. It's a good game, let it flow.
Good tackle there by Paul McGrath to win possession again for Villa. Houghton, first half goal scorer, finds Daly and Atkinson, bounces off his shin, and then he fouls Conte in his attempt to win it back. Temper's getting slightly frayed. Well, I'm not sure he understands Italian. He had a career, or a short spell in his career, in Spain for Real Sociedad. Daly and Atkinson, he picked up a little bit of Spanish, like Dos Cerveza or whatever, but I don't think his Italian's too clever. He seemed to exchange a couple of insults there with Nicola Berti, however.
But that's the best way to react. I like to see that. I mean, he may be taking the mick out of the lad, but he smiled and run away from it, and what's the point of arguing? Referees very rarely change the decision, although we've just seen one do that just a few minutes ago, so never give up.
Splendid match here. Aston Villa leading 1-0 on the night. It's 1-1 an aggregate. And by the way, if the score stays at Aston Villa 1, Inter Milan 0 at the end of 90 minutes, that is the only score that would lead to us having extra time and then, if necessary, penalties. Nicola Berti's an unhappy lad again, because another decision's gone against him, a throw-in this time. Conte wins it back. Now Dennis Bergkamp. Ruben Sosa. Barrett under pressure. Good defending again from Villa. Staunton. Townsend. Ugo Ehiog. Looking for Whittingham, and it almost reached him. It does, in fact, off the defender. Houghton's shot. Well, he had some 5 seasons of European experience with Liverpool before he even came to Villarreal Houghton, and he always seems to do the sensible thing. Not quite on target then, but his goal, remember, gave Villa that dream moment just a few minutes before half-time. And they still lead 1-0. Seno playing it forward to Sosa, the little Uruguayan international. Conte getting forward for the first time down Inter's left. Barrett blocks the cross. McGrath's on hand to clean up. He's given it away, however. Bertie finding Bergkamp. Run back by Townsend. And that's a foul by Bergkamp. And that will be the first caution of the game for Dennis Bergkamp. The £8 million man, signed from Ajax, who has had a bit of an unhappy time since he went to Inter. Allegedly doesn't get on with most of the other players, and they don't seem to like him.
Well, quite rightly, the referee, that is the worst tackle of the night, and he's sort of said now, hey, I'll let the little things go, but you're not going in that late, and you're not going in and not winning the ball or even trying to win it. And that's maybe a little bit of frustration from Bergkamp. I'm glad to see he's human, because sometimes when he's played against the English sides, he's looked inhuman, you know. He's looked so good.
He's currently suspended from league games in Italy because of a sending off. Here's King for Villa. Atkinson. King again, that's a clever little ball. Staunton. Whipped in cross, and it comes to Atkinson! Richardson keeps the flow going to Barrett. Houghton. Conte read his intentions. But they've given it away again. Barrett going in strongly. And certainly Villa have got them worried here at the moment. Whittingham's cross. Bergkamp gets it clear. But it's all out pressure from Aston Villa in this second half. They're doing English football proud here. Bergkamp. Panchev. Knocked long by Paganini. McGrath gets it clear. Richardson. Barrett hooking it on first time. Has come back to Bergkamp. He's got Sosa to his left. And Villa just crowded him out. They're all working so hard for each other, these Villa players. It's been a monumental effort already. Richardson, the captain. Staunton. Townsend. On to King. Staunton's continued his run. Unlucky. Bertie brings it clear. Seno. Sosa. Bergkamp. And again, sloppy passing. That'll do nicely for Villa. Houghton. Oh dear, sloppy passing by Villa this time. Straight to Mirko Conti. Sosa makes the run down the left. Goes infield to Seno. Well, whatever else you have to say about tonight is, I think Inter Milan, at the moment, dare I say it, Kevin, are not really playing that well. They can't get their own game together.
No, but you must give credit to Villa because they've not been allowed to play well. I mean, in Italy, you do not play at this pace. I mean, we watch sometimes the games over here, and sometimes for a minute or two they're at this pace, but not for 50, 60, 90 minutes. And they're having a job living with this, and I can understand that.
Well, this looks dangerous. Panchev. Bergkamp's got forward the captain. Sosa also in the attack. Looking to return it to Panchev, easy for Nigel Spink. Although he's been beaten once in the first half when Nicola Berti smacked the ball against Villa's upright, I can't recall him having a save to make. And the coach, Ottavio Bianchi of Inter Milan, doesn't look a happy man at the moment. Festa finding Berti. Little nudge in the back then by Steve Staunton on Andrea Seno. Remember, if the score stays this way, we would have extra time. A draw of any kind is good enough for Inter Milan to take them through. Bergkamp. Bit of a wild clearance there from Houghton. McGrath, solid as a rock. And here's Seno. Bergkamp, bit of a lucky deflection here for Inter. What can he make of it? He measured that, but fortunately for Villa, he measured it wide. He scored 8 goals in 9 UEFA Cup ties last season when Inter Milan won the trophy, but he hasn't done anything like as well in the league. Takes his place along with Sosa and Panchev in an Inter Milan side that shows 2 changes from the first leg.
We're still involved in a fascinating game here, Alan, because even if Villa do score a second goal, which there's no doubt they deserve on the performance so far, they've got to be careful, because they get one, of course 2-1 would put them through Inter Milan. So whatever happens, this game's going to go right down to the wire, as they say.
And Ron Atkinson, with all his experience, the most senior of all the Premier League managers, knows full well the consequences here. A goal for Inter could still prove fatal for Aston Villa. Excellent play. It's a free kick. Clear foul by Seno, but they seem to have a telepathic understanding, Staunton and King on the Villa left, and they took that free kick in quickly to Houghton. And back again to Staunton. Oh, tremendous save by Pagliuca. I'm not entirely sure Staunton meant that as a shot, but whatever, it produced a great save.
Yeah, they combined great in. He's on his left foot. I think he means to cross it low and hard, but what a save.
Houghton playing it back into the danger zone. In to get it clear once again. McGrath. Houghton. He's onside here. Oh, unlucky. But still the pressure. And it's Bergkamp who whips it clear. Sosa. Well, without exaggeration, I would say this is one of the best European ties I've seen for a very long time, simply because in the first half both sides were going for goals, and in the second half Villa are dominating and pushing one of the great names of European football firmly onto the back foot. It's been a magnificent spectacle all through.
When you think about it, Alan, they work so hard, Villa, in beating Man United at Wembley to earn the right, and they're really working now to stay in it. And I tell you, if there's any justice, if it keeps going like this, they will.
And they're looking dangerous again. Houghton. Staunton. Houghton seems to be everywhere. Live wire, the word was invented to describe him. This is King. Bergkamp shutting down the options, but he still gets his cross in. Too close to the keeper, though. An hour of the game completed. Aston Villa 1, Inter Milan 0. That means 1 goal each. They're level on aggregate. Steve Staunton for Aston Villa. Oh, it was a poor header by Beer. They've certainly made some mistakes at the back tonight, Inter.
They have, Alan, and I'm convinced it's the pace of this game that's making really good players, international players, make mistakes like Bergkamp did for the goal. I mean, they're just not used to playing at this pace in Italy. It's slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. This is quick, 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 very quick, and whatever comes after that.
Tired.
Would be for me and you.
Here's Bergkamp. He's got away from his marker, but it wasn't a good ball. Cleared by King. Bertie straight at Houghton.
You can't help but feel that with Sosa, Bergkamp and Panchev there, that somewhere along the line they're going to create some problems, but they haven't done it yet, and that's great credit to McGrath and Ekiog, King and Barrett. They've been superb at the back.
Well, no surprise, I think, here. Darko Panchev has had a very disappointing game. Is going to be replaced by David Fontalan, who we thought would be in the starting lineup originally. He'd been suspended for the first leg in Milan. And Sanchez's been very disappointing. Fontelan on in his place, Bergkamp going forward, and did well to retain possession then. Fontelan gets his first touch, Sosa, Bergkamp, and Villa crowd Inter Milan out on the edge of their own box. Whittingham helping it on. Bertie.
I'm just looking over at the Villa box, and Ron Atkinson, it's like the last night at the Proms. He's up there and he's orchestrating everything. He's kicking every ball with him, and he's just had both cartridges out, he tells me, so he must be careful.
And will he be leading a chorus of Land of Hope and Glory at the end of the night, I wonder? Bergkamp playing it forward. Will it be the last night of the Proms for Inter Milan? Will it be arrivederci for them? Can Aston Villa produce one of the great comebacks in recent years in Europe?
Whittingham's done very well since he come on. I mean, it's very difficult for him to game any game cold off the bench, but he's come into one of the really quick games that I've ever seen, and he's done very well to pick the pace up.
Here's King picking it up again. Not the best cross, but it's gone straight to Staunton. And Whittingham, oh my word, Whittingham was inches away from making contact.
Well, this Inter Milan, if they lose this game, they're going to look at some defensive mistakes. But what a great ball this is. And I tell you what, half a yard and you're a hero, Whittingham. You really are.
6-yard box, that's his hunting ground as well, Guy Whittingham. He did well to get there, but just wasn't far enough forward. They are playing with exuberant style, though, Aston Villa. Staunton tries a shot from 50 yards to underline the point. Townsend. They've got a throw here, Villa, and they've taken it already. Townsend. Ehiog knocking it down the line. Staunton got the little flick on, and Pagliuca calmly collects. Well, the Inter coach must be a worried man at the moment. You can never, of course, make predictions without looking the fool in football, but the way this game has gone, you're bound to feel that if Villa score a second, Inter Milan would find it very hard to get a goal themselves. Here's Whittingham. Sosa trying to provide a thrill or two for the handful of Milan fans in the crowd. He's still got the ball. And Fontelan, the substitute, almost burst through the centre then. Last-ditch defending by Villa, and they've given the ball back to Inter. Seno. Sosa. He's got a great left foot. They don't want to give him room to try a shot. Fontelan. Bergkamp drifted out to the left now. Seno. So first real spell in the Villa half, and it's come to nothing. And the clock ticks on. 25 minutes to go. Aston Villa lead Inter Milan by 1-0 here tonight. The teams therefore are level at 1-1 on aggregate. And the fans enjoying every minute of this, and so are we. Here's Whittingham. Going in strongly with Beer, the sweeper. And I thought that was a Villa throw, I must admit, but it's gone the other way.
I got a slight deflection there. You can't help but feel, Alan, that because of the name Inter Milan and because of the quality of the players on the side, they're going to have a spell in this match. They haven't had a spell of pressure at all on Aston Villa. You do feel that it's got to come, but having said that, if Villa carry on like this, maybe it won't.
Whittingham trying to keep Villa going forward again. Good interception by Gianluca Festa, but Whittingham is there to win it back, not for long. Conte here in possession for Inter. But as long as they can keep them forced into this half, then Aston Villa will be part way towards doing their job. Well, in all the years they've been in European competition into Milan, and for all their successes, remember, twice winners of this cup in 4 years, I doubt they've had many more difficult nights than this. That ball has gone out of play, by the way, for an Aston Villa throw-in. Aston Villa on their 8th campaign in Europe this season, their 6th time in the Uefa. Their best was the quarter-final in 1978. They've been out, in fact, in the second round the last 3 attempts. If this is to be a glorious failure, glorious will be the operative word. Let us hope it's a glorious victory. Here's Houghton, who scored the Villa goal just before half-time. Good layoff to Barrett. Whipped in towards Atkinson on the far post. It comes out to Staunton, though. Staunton's done well here. He's done really well. Now, what's the referee going to decide here? He's going to decide that was a foul by Steve Staunton. Free kick to Inter.
I think he's right as well. What Steve Staunton should have done there is just wait. The lad had it between his legs, which is not allowed really, but he wasn't going anywhere, and he just couldn't resist having a little slash at it, I think is the right word. And the referee was spot on to give a free kick against him.
The outcome of this tie, fascinatingly, hangs by the slenderest of threads. Sosa trying to get in behind Ehiog here. Well played, Ehiog. Well played. Flicked on by Townsend to Atkinson and on again to Whittingham. It's good football. Houghton. Whittingham. Houghton's on the ground, injured. Whittingham battling for the ball. And the referee does a favour even to Villa. And then that's a foul on Richardson, surely. And tempers just getting a little bit out of hand, not surprisingly. It's a massive prize, of course, a place in the next round of this competition, with so many big names, of course, the likes of Juventus and Lazio and PSV and Real Madrid and Newcastle United all entered the competition at this stage. Here's Staunton going forward for Aston Villa. They lead 1-0. Can this be number 2? It just wouldn't drop into his path. Pagliuca's belted it clear, first time for Sosa, their lone attacker now, Inter. Barrett. Sloppy ball for once by the otherwise admirable Houghton, who's brilliantly won it back. Atkinson. And they keep the pressure going, and more importantly, Villa keep the pace on.
I think you're right there. That is what is rattling this great Milan side. You know, the pace of this game is something they're not used to, as I keep saying, and they're making mistakes all over the field. But surprisingly, the biggest mistakes they're making are at the back, where you thought they would be very calm and collected.
This is Townsend for Aston Villa. He's done well to win a corner there. Well played, Andy Townsend. Fans at the Holte End, which is going to become the biggest stand in the whole of Europe, get on their feet again as they see Staunton whip it in again viciously, but behind the goal, sadly, this time. The Holte End being rebuilt now. It'll hold 13,500 people by the time it's open in December, and as I say, that'll make it the biggest goal stand anywhere in Europe. A stadium built for great European nights like this. Well done, Daly and Atkinson.
I wouldn't like to race him for my wages if I was a footballer. He is quick. Made 4 or 5 yards up there and earned them a throw-in.
And he's got possession again. And it's turned back to Daly and Atkinson. Danger here! Oh, it's a terrific ball to the far post. Conte had to head that one behind because Richardson was steaming in behind him.
Great little move this, and a super ball with the outside of the foot, and doesn't he do well, Conte? Under severe pressure, great defensive clearance.
And the pressure pressure continues. Villa have a corner. The noise is terrific here. That's a good-looking one as well. Ehiog hits it back. Richardson with a chance. Oh, they just had so many bodies in the way. Now Townsend turning it back in. Conte heads it clear. Back out to Townsend. That's a good effort. And Pagliuca took off to keep it out of his net.
Breathtaking stuff. Really what European football is all about, and Villa have been magnificent. I just hope they see it through.
Daly and Atkinson with a long throw. Flicked on by Ehiog. Bergkamp gets it clear. Back again to Atkinson. And he's dispossessed by the substitute, Fontalan. But Villa have it back again. McGrath did the sensible thing as ever, but Spink's got some work to do here. Very calm, well played. Staunton gets it back into the Inter Milan half. Bergkamp is giving it away again. Townsend. Houghton. Well played, Houghton. Unlucky. Paganini just took it away from him. Now Bertie. Conte. Barrett going in hard. But Conte was just as strong. Now Sosa. Beer with the clearance. It's gone out of play though. Or it will do anyway. As now.
I think if ever you need a sign of how fast this game is, have a look at Bertie's socks. They're down his ankles. That's a great save from the keeper, by the way. Very acrobatic, but effective.
Here's Sosa going forward. Fontalan. Bergkamp. Well played, King. Townsend. Houghton. Good running by Whittingham. But he was outnumbered. Barrett under pressure here from Sosa. He's got to win that. Well played. He had to get that tackle in because Sosa would have been away behind him.
It's very important that the defenders keep doing their job to keep giving Villa this platform on which to build up what would be a great victory. One mistake with the class of the players they're playing against it could prove fatal.
Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? Brilliant play by Daly and Atkinson. Whittingham is in the box. Can he go solo here? It's a great run by Atkinson. Oh, what a shame when it came to the final shot. He was just off balance.
There's not a more exciting player in the country than Daly and Atkinson when he gets on runs like this. Watch his strength here. That's the first thing. He wanted to win that ball. Now look at the pace carrying him away from people. He's going in the box. Now defenders don't like this. And in the end, it was a real good chance because he had the time, look. But I think he'd come to the end of his stamina.
It's been a brilliant Villa performance already, irrespective of the final outcome. And we've only got a quarter of an hour to go. But remember, this score, if it stays this way, 1-0 to Villa, would be enough to earn them extra time. What they have to guard against is a late Inter Milan goal. Sosa for Inter. Good defending again by Barrett. It would be a travesty, absolute robbery if Inter were to win this match. But, you know, we've all watched football often enough to know those things can sometimes happen. And here's Sosa trying to punish a rare mistake. However, I'm glad to say the linesman has signalled offside, presumably, against Sosa. Free kick to Villa. What a gripping contest this has been. Daly and Atkinson up well. Whittingham working hard to keep possession for Aston Villa. Townsend. Staunton. Bertie heads it clear to Bergkamp. And a foul given against King. Little nudge in the back of Dennis Bergkamp. Inter's free kick, which they've already taken and wasted. Richardson. That was not the ball he intended, I fear. Beer has given it away to King. Seno under pressure from Townsend, and rather harshly, a free kick goes Inter's way. Mind you, in fairness, the French referee, Kinu, has controlled this game well tonight.
He certainly has. At the start, I thought he's going to be a little bit too fussy, but he's found a level and he's helped make it a great game it is. I mean, the players are the main ones, but the referee's got to help as well.
And he spotted that handball by Kevin Richardson. Sosa's tried to nick a yard there, and he's let him get away with it, but McGrath with a good clearance, Houghton hooking it on. Festa. Remember, this is the Inter Milan team, or at least the basis of it, that has won this competition, the whole competition, twice in the last 4 seasons. That's the measure of the opponents. Aston Villa are, in many respects, outplaying here tonight. Well played, Ray Houghton. Well, that was a dodgy ball. McGrath cleans it up. Phil King goes on another run down the left. Staunton. Aston Villa's throw. Townsend finds some room and finds Houghton. Trying to play Richardson in to have it back with the Ruben Sosa, the little Uruguayan. Now Conti. Now some of their distribution has not been what you'd expect of one of the top Italian clubs tonight. Inter Milan have won the European Cup itself a couple of times, 4 times finalists, albeit a long, long time ago. But tonight, I think they have been outplayed by Aston Villa. And here's King. Can they get the vital goal? Ehiog under pressure, but he's so calm, this lad. He's 21. Ron Atkinson thinks he'll captain England one day. Never mind play for his country. He's already captain England under 21s. Now King has given it away. They must be getting tired, these Villa players. Bergkamp.
Not half as tired as the Inter Milan players, because when you haven't got the ball and you're chasing it, it's difficult this game.
Here's Conte running into trouble. Townsend obliges. Whittingham. Houghton. Staunton. That was good work by Seno to dispossess him and then find Sosa. Townsend just got a little flick header on to win the ball back. Now King. Down the line for Atkinson to chase, and he's won the throw-in. And you can only imagine the thoughts going through on Atkinson's head at the moment. He looks anxiously at his watch again. John Fashanu, one of the Aston Villa substitutes tonight, who never played in a European tie before the first leg.
Alan, he's got cramp, and that's another sign that he's done a lot of running. He's done a lot of chasing back. You just saw him there, turn his toe up, and I'm not surprised. There'll be maybe a few more before the end of the night.
Yes, that was Paganini. Just out of play there, sadly, that ball before King whipped it into the middle. I think the referee has indicated they've got to come back for the throw-in, yes. Bergkamp, a one-time World Cup winner with Italy. Captain of Inter Milan, takes the throw. Now Sosa. Seno. Good header clear by Barrett. Now Richardson. Asking Whittingham to chase, but he's asking a lot of him. However, the anxiety Inter Milan have been displaying all night at the back was underlined then. It looked a routine clearance. They made a mess of it. Richardson. Ooh, that was a bit of an iffy ball. Staunton's having to work hard, and Richardson won it back well. Whittingham was fouled, surely. Play on is the decision. Houghton. Atkinson's offside.
Again, very good refereeing there, Alan. I think, you know, as the night's gone on, this referee's impressed me more and more. He let it go. There was a couple of tackles that he could have very easily blown up for, and probably would have done early on in the game. But he let them go because there was an advantage, and it's a great rule, that, to play advantage.
Sosa. And he's offside. On my watch, we have 8 minutes remaining. Aston Villa lead Inter Milan by 1-0 tonight. It's 1 each on aggregate. Beer. Given away to Townsend. Staunton, that's a good ball by Staunton. And on it goes to Atkinson. Bergkamp just got there ahead of him. And it's cleared it anyhow, anyway. Time for Inter Milan. King doing well then for Aston Villa. They have performed absolute heroics for me tonight, Aston Villa, and it would be so unfair if they weren't to at least be given the chance of extra time here. But he's not worried about fairness. Bianchi, the Inter coach.
He had a full crop of air before the game began. I think rarely we've seen his side so outplayed and outfought as he is being seen here. You know, tremendous display from Villa.
It really is.
Every player contributed, that's what's nice about it.
Townsend down the line again for King. Bergkamp hooks it away. Villa get the throw. Come on, Villa, one final big effort here. Staunton whipping it in. Conti gets it clear. Richardson right underneath it. Beautifully took the weight off that. Barrett. Whittingham, little nudge there from Fester. Whittingham still got the shot in. Ashalou just keeping warm in case they need him. Bergkamp now for Inter Milan, finding Sosa. No, Townsend with a superb interception. Staunton.
Either that or Fashionu's getting ready for one of the gladiator programs and going early.
Houghton. It's just got caught in an indecisive moment there, Houghton. Bergkamp has possession for Inter. Sosa out on their left. McGrath across to cover, and another pathetically theatrical dive by Sosa. I think he did contact him with his hand, McGrath, but nothing like as bad as Sosa made it seem. Did the same thing in the first half.
Look where he's taking this free kick from, and that's what the players are saying. That was right on the touchline, and he's 10 yards in. That's right, referee, well done.
Yeah, he's moved it back about 6 inches.
Makes a big difference.
Sosa hits the free kick in himself. Fontalan getting up on the far post. Headed away by Ehio. Bergkamp. It's a dangerous looking ball. Well played, Paul McGrath. Dalen Atkinson at the other end. He didn't realise he had the ball. And then Fester dispossessed him. However, it's gone straight to Richardson. Houghton. It's been everywhere, Houghton, tonight. Good ball. Atkinson. Just headed it in behind a tired-looking run from Whittingham.
Shows you how well Villa are playing. That's the first time Bergkamp's touched the ball for about 10 minutes. And they've hardly been in the Villa half. They've really defended well. They've got to keep doing it.
We're into the last 5 minutes. Aston Villa are leading 1-0, and if the score remains like this, then we will have extra time, and then, if necessary, penalty kicks. Conti for Inter Milan. Gets it back again. Sosa is with him. Bergkamp getting forward in space. Danger here. Bergkamp. Whipped off his toe by Phil King. Oh, well saved, Spink.
Didn't he do well to hold that? I mean, a lot of keepers would have patted that out and you couldn't have blamed them, but he's very good hands from Nigel Spink.
Whittingham. He's done well. That's as good as he could have expected in that situation. Barrett. Monumental performance from Aston Villa. Can they round it off with what could be the winning goal? Townsend. Staunton, he might fancy a crack. Chips it in instead. And the shot by Houghton almost produced that winning goal. Still Townsend! Thought the linesman might have flagged incidentally initially when Houghton got the ball. He seemed to be trying to attract the referee's attention. The referee didn't see him, so we can only assume it would have stood here. Yeah, he didn't raise his flag until after the ball had come back out.
I think the keeper got a touch on that. This was another good chance. He just had to keep it down.
The Villa crowd try to lift their players for one last final push perhaps, but there's danger at the other end. Ehiog snaps it clear. King. Whittingham's earned the throw. Townsend. A goal now would surely be the winner for Villa. Richardson finding Houghton. And he's gained the corner. The clock ticks on. A minute and a half on my watch. 90 seconds from glory. 90 seconds from extra time. 90 seconds from going out even.
I think that's the least likely option though, because if there's any justice they'll get something here.
Barrett getting up well, but Pagliuca whipped it off his head. And the quick throw out to Sosa. They've got to keep defending as well. They've got to keep their discipline and concentration here, Villa. Sosa's absolutely outnumbered by Villa players, and he's tried another pathetic dive, and he doesn't deserve anything for that. And he deserves what he's just got. He's got a yellow card for trying to get fellow professionals into trouble and trying to get a free kick, and he deserves that.
Their trainer's smoking now, I think, as well, Alan. But I hate to see this. I mean, look at that.
Absolutely.
I remember Brian Phelps. I'm old enough to remember when he was a diver, and even at his best, he couldn't have done any more than that.
And that's 3 times in the game he's done that. Now he's finally got what he deserved, a yellow card. Well done, the referee.
He's such a good player as well. That's what's a little bit sad about it.
Here's Seno for Inter Milan. Aston Villa think they got the throw. I'm sad to say it's gone the other way. So listen to the noise from this packed Villa Park. But they've got defending to do here. Sosa. Seno looking for Fontalan. And Ehiog has made sure they get a goal kick. He's had nothing like as much to do as he had to do in the first leg in Milan, Ugo Ehiog, but what he's had to do, he's done brilliantly.
You know, Big Ron raves about him. He played at our place, we beat him 5-1, and he played tremendous. And I've looked at him a few times, but I can see now exactly what he means. He's got a very old head on young shoulders, and he's done tremendous from tonight. Because it's not always easy when you're not under a lot of pressure.
We're into stoppage time, and extra time is looming. Whittingham. Cleared by Paganini. Houghton. Townsend. Richardson. And that's it. The referee signals the end of 90 minutes of absolutely 5-star entertainment here at Villa Park, and we will be having extra time. After 90 minutes at Villa Park, It was Aston Villa 1, Inter Milan 0. 1-1 on aggregate over the two legs as Inter Milan get the first period of extra time underway. Straight away their substitute Fontaine in possession, got a bit of a lucky bounce and finds Sosa. The shot hit straight against Ehiog. Barrett turning away from danger. Good clearance, but it's gone straight to Nicola Berti. The Italian international finds Sosa. Caution, remember, for that dive towards the end of the 90 minutes. Here's Fontaine. Villa have the ball back. Houghton. Dalian Atkinson's made a great run down the middle. Whittingham turning it on but couldn't find it. Cleared by Festa. Now Bergkamp. Sosa. Dangerous moment, but Ehiog has snuffed out the danger. Berti wins it back for Inter with a good header down to Conti. Seno. Bergame, the Inter Milan captain. Bergkamp. Looking for Fontaine, getting in behind Barrett, who didn't even concede the corner or the throw. That's superb defending by Barrett. Houghton. Atkinson thought Whittingham was coming in behind him then and let the ball run on. He wasn't, and Inter have it back, but not for long. And then a foul by Seno on Andy Townsend, Villa's free kick.
The other interesting comparison tonight is there's a growing feeling, certainly in this country, amongst managers and players, that the English League, British football, is catching back up again, and it's catching the Italian game up. And I think we're seeing tonight a little sign of that, because these are one of the top teams in Italy.
Townsend going in a bit too enthusiastically with Seno, and the two players clash, and unnecessarily Beer gets himself involved, so does Pagliuca, and the first real moment of unpleasantness in the game. And I don't think you can blame Townsend for that. It was the overreaction on the part of the Italian players for me. I know that sounds pretty biased, but why not? But I honestly think that Townsend was virtually blameless.
I think Pagliuca, to be fair, was trying to pull Townsend away, because it would be a shame in such a great match if we end up having players sent off. He's getting the two captains together. It's a storm in a teacup, this. Fontaine definitely pushes him. He has a kick back. Now that's a foul. But then after that, he might as well just move away, and there's a sort of pushing and scurrying and a ball thrown in someone's face. Look.
Yeah, schoolyard stuff at the end, but...
handbags at 5 paces for me.
Yeah. Here's Dalian Atkinson. Oh, nice bit of skill on the ball by Townsend, who's been riled up enough to go and win it back in the best way. Now Atkinson. Richardson. Barrett. One back by Inter. Sosa. Tries to go between Ehiog and McGrath. They're not having any of it, and Ehiog just makes sure that Fontaine didn't provide a problem.
Notice how Ehiog shielded that ball back this time, having learnt from his mistake in the first half when he nearly could have cost them a goal.
Houghton turning it on. Atkinson's done well here. And a good cross, which was headed clean across his own goal by Festa. No Villa man near enough to provide danger.
That's one of the problems when you break as quick as Villa have sometimes tonight. You just can't get people with you at that pace, and that was another example there. There was just nobody. There's one target in the box, and I think that was Whittingham.
Well, Villa had just carried on where they finished after 90 minutes, in control.
Yeah, I'd love to see how much percentage of possession they've had. It must be something like 70-30.
Bergkamp is back defending on the edge of his own penalty area, and if that doesn't tell you the way this game has gone, then nothing will. Defended pretty well, mind you. And Ehiog has conceded the free kick.
Like all great players, and Bergkamp, there's no doubt about it in my mind, he is a great player. They are prepared to work. Cruyff was prepared to work. Pelé was always prepared to work. That's all part of the ingredients you need to be a great player. It doesn't come easy.
Say no. Another poor ball. Villa aren't complaining. Knocked in long by Staunton for Whittingham to chase. Vesta's clearance. Bergkamp. Bergkamp. Fontelan. Ehiog across to cut down the space, but he finds Bergkamp. And that's a good ball back again to the substitute. And Sosa was in the middle, but Villa got it clear. Sano. Good work again by Villa at the back. Barrett. He's got the pace to make the most of this, but Conte matched him stride for stride. Sosa. He's done well here, Sosa. He's done very well, and Spinkalo, he mishandled it slightly, got away with it.
Oh, well, Sosa showing really for the first time tonight what a dangerous player he was, but he actually caught Roy Houghton, who was ended up defending because Barrett had gone forward, and he very nearly cost them dearly.
Well, someone was smiling on Nigel Spink at this moment, that's for sure.
Look here, it's Houghton he's got against, and he fancies his chance a little bit. And what a good ball he puts in. It's not easy. If he doesn't make that contact, it's all over.
Ehiog, the defender, who got it clear. Vesta's clearance at the other end. Sano. Now danger. Bergkamp goes forward. Sosa and Fontelan ahead of it. He did very well then. Bergkamp. Bergkamp. Sano. He might try the shot here. Exasperation for him.
We were all saying no as he lined up to hit this, but what a great ball again from Bergkamp, and this is a good position, very central. Ehiog does very well actually, just gets in and probably took his eye off the ball.
Well, on goal attempts, Villa well ahead. On goals scored, just that one ahead after 90 minutes. Bertie gets it clear. King winning it back and finding Staunton. King. Townsend got away from his marker well then. Richardson. Now Houghton. Richardson again, back to Houghton. This is Barrett. So Richardson might have pulled up with a hamstring injury as he played that ball out to the right here. He's definitely feeling that part of his leg as Villa have got on with it. Townsend turning it in. Headed clear, but as it was, there was a foul by Dalian Atkinson. And he's struggling a bit here, I think, the Villa captain, is he? And they've got Gary Parker, the former Nottingham Forest player, ready to come on. So they lose their second player of the night, Aston Villa, to injury. Dean Saunders having gone off very early on in the first half. What a shame. And again, the ruling about only 3 foreign players has affected Villa here. How they would have loved to have unleashed Dwight York or even their new Ghanaian international Neil Lamptey on a tiring Inter Milan side. Now, alas, they can't be there. They're not English.
I agree, Alan, but I suppose the perfect replacement for Richardson is Parker. They're very similar players. They're both very experienced, and so it's really a straight swap. So it shouldn't affect the momentum of this team. And he's a leader as well, this lad, which is what Richardson is.
Townsend gets the temporary captain's armband from Jim Walker, the physio. The Villa fans and even 1 or 2 of the Inter Milan supporters amongst the crowd show what an enjoyable night they've had, but it's still all down to the result, isn't it? Fontelan, Bergkamp, scourge of English clubs so often, and the English national team, finding Nicola Berti. just tried to help it on to Conte. Houghton did well, still working hard so late into the night. Parker gets his first touch. And a good one. Barrett. It was a tired run this time by Staunton, but it's no wonder one or two of these runs are a little leggy now because they work so hard, these Villa lads.
And Staunton in particular, Alan, has covered every blade of grass on this pitch.
There was a back ball by Conte, won back well by Dalian Atkinson, and he gets into the box. The referee has seen the linesman flag, however, for offside, or it could have been a foul, whatever, it's a free kick.
It's offside, Alan, he's got his flag up. It looked very, very tight to me.
That's why I was doubtful.
So look.
Well, level is onside these days. That's the instruction to linesmen.
And if there's any doubt in your mind, let it go. That's the other one. Very close call, that one.
Barrett going in strongly, and Villa get the throw-in. We are 11 minutes into the first period of the half an hour of extra time here at Villa Park. After 90 minutes of normal time, Aston Villa were leading by 1-0 against Inter Milan. 1-1 on aggregate over the two legs. Extra time and possibly penalties will decide the winner here. It's a massive European night, this. Villa Park virtually full. This beautiful stadium. The lights shining brightly, the football has been of the highest order. The excitement and the tension has been there throughout. This is what the great European nights are all about.
You can gauge how good this Villa performance is, Alan, by the fact I think I can only recollect Spinks touching the ball 10 times in the game. It's been incredibly one-sided when you think of the class of the opposition that Villa are facing here.
And because of the class of the opposition, even though Aston Villa have played brilliantly all night, just one error or one moment of brilliance by Inter could take the game back in their way. Foul, though, by one of their more brilliant players, it has to be said. Dennis Bergkamp has given Villa a free kick. They've got on with it already. Earl Barrett. Whittingham. Houghton. Back to Barrett. Pagliuca swung then like an acrobat or a gymnast under the crossbar, but the ball had gone over anyway.
I suppose when you pay £7.5 million for a goalkeeper, they've got to be able to do things like this as well. But I thought there was a law against this. I seem to remember you weren't allowed to swing on the crossbar.
Yes, if it stopped the ball going in, I think there definitely should be a regulation against it. But I think that was always going over, in fairness. We are nearing the end of the first period of extra time, and there has been no addition to the score. Dalian Atkinson finding Houghton. Overplayed, really.
It's one of the few bad balls that Ray Houghton's hit tonight. I think he's putting an unbelievably consistent display. He really is my man of the match, really, because a lot of people want to write players off in this country because of age, but he's proved again that that is no barrier. If you're fit, you put yourself around.
Here's Bertie for Inter Milan. As we move into the final minute of the first period of extra time, then we'll have another 15 minutes. And Fontelan suddenly gets clear of his mark. A chance here! What a wild effort that was by Fontelan, to the delight of the Villa fans behind that goal. Yes, he knows he should have done better.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what was really the key to this. He ended up having to go in on his weak foot. Watch this, he's on his left. He wants to hit it with his left. McGrath, he pulls it inside, and now he's on his right. He doesn't really want to hit it with his right, and that's why.
Oh, thank goodness it did fall to the wrong foot. Fontelan battling to win it back again, and indeed was then fouled by McGrath.
McGrath just telling Parker, why didn't you knock it back? a little bit. He's got to try and pick up the pace of this game, which has been nothing short of very, very fast.
Free kick to Inter Milan, and we've gone over the first 15 minutes of extra time. And in fact, Sosa's taken so long to take the free kick, he's never going to be able to take it because the referee has blown the whistle. And Sosa's not to kick. And they're trying to say, Inter, why didn't you let us take the free kick? And the referee has then shown the yellow card to Seno. Well, it was their own fault. They took so long to get on with it. Seno has been cautioned as a result of what he said. Well, Gary Newman is talking to one of the Villa substitutes, John Fashanu, to get his opinion of this drama.
John, Ron Atkinson has gone absolutely hoarse. What has he been yelling? How has he been coordinating everything down here?
Well, he wants to still keep the game very tight. I mean, obviously there's a lot at stake. There's not that long to go. He's asked, can I come on? 7 minutes to go. It's pretty difficult because I've now had the 2 substitutes, so I don't actually think I can come on now. But he's just basically trying to keep Andy, to try and keep the defence, Andy Townsend, to keep the defence up. We don't want to let it slip now.
It's a marvellous performance at tremendous speed.
Well, the pace is very, very quick, bearing in mind we've played a lot of games, and we've got Newcastle on Saturday as well. So at the same time, we've got Skippers has come off with a hamstring and a thigh injury, so it's not good news at the moment.
Do you think it's going to go to penalties, or from what you've seen, do you think your lads are going to do it?
I think we could just nick it. If we get a free kick, the boys have got enough height, I hope we're going to nick it. If it goes to penalties, we've got some good penalty takers, but you know the Italians, they practice that a lot.
So the second period of extra time underway. Townsend for Aston Villa tries to force an early corner. We're into the last 15 minutes of football. Then, if necessary, we would have the drama of penalties to decide the outcome of this tie. Gary Parker will try to launch the ball as deep into Inter Milan's penalty area as he can. Ehiog has come forward. The tall centre-back, he'll be the target here, and he almost reached it as well. It goes behind for a corner. But it did well to force that. It all came from a apparently harmless throw-in. It could be a very harmful corner kick. Staunton turned it straight against Fonteland. The Villa fans shouted handball, but I don't think he could have got out of the way of that, and he leads the counter-attack here and finds Sosa. What a great piece of tackling back that was by Ehiog. Brilliant play. Staunton. Parker. Houghton. Daly and Atkinson. Tries a little 1-2 with Whittingham, it didn't come off. And Villa have given possession back to Bergkamp. It's on a knife edge now, all right. One error could be fatal. Townsend for Aston Villa. Brought down by Fonteland. Takes it quickly to Parker. Now Houghton. Barrett on the overlap. Whittingham. Back it goes to Barrett. Parker takes over. He's got the fresher legs. And gets it back again. Sets it up for Staunton to hit it. Strikes the ball beautifully with his left foot, Steve Staunton, but just wide.
Yeah, he did very well to keep the ball down. That's the first priority when you're in that position. Unfortunately, the direction wasn't as good as he would have liked.
Just to confirm the cautions we had before, Seno for Inter Milan booked for arguing about that free kick incident, and McGrath also booked, I think, for dissent just before it. Well, one of the last times we were live at Villa Park here on ITV last season was for the Coca-Cola Cup semi-final. And Aston Villa played Tranmere Rovers. That too went to a penalty shootout. It was one of the most exciting matches of the season, and this has matched it. On that occasion, Villa just triumphed.
Yeah, for remember, I did that game with you, and I think it was a late goal that won it. It'd been just reward if they got one tonight, but you get the feeling it's going to go to penalties.
Staunton dispossessed by Fonteland. Bertie to Conti. Bergkamp joins the attack for Inter Milan. Sosa races into a good position, but he's been tracked all the way by Ehiod. Now Bergkamp. This is Bertie again. That was a tired ball, and that was a foul as well by Bertie. Ono backed. Kevin Richardson with that hamstring injury which forced him to leave the field, still down there on the bench, not even got a tracksuit on. Doesn't want to miss a second of this, and I'm sure you don't. Villa just turn up the heat a little more. Houghton into the penalty area to Townsend. It just escaped him, that was a shame. Saino's clearance, Sosa heads it on, but Villa are strong in their own half again. They have performed so well tonight. Ehiod ran out of patience then though and has given it away to Conti. Sosa. Saino. Now Bergkamp. Wasn't a good ball at all, straight to Parker. And Bertie cuts out the intended pass for Whittingham. And a bad ball by him.
There's a lot of tired people out there now and they're starting to make mistakes, and it's going to be a mistake that wins this game, if anything. A mistake by somebody. They deserve to be tired, Alan, don't they? They've worked the socks off, both teams. One with a lot of possession.
Whittingham's error has given Conti possession. Sosa. Barrett in quickly to win it off him, and cleanly as well. There have been so many heroes for Villa tonight. The biggest hero, we may not know yet. Can somebody get the winning goal and the biggest headline of all? Whittingham. It's done well here. Dalian Atkinson's in the middle. Still Whittingham, he was just too tired to get the cross in. Now Bergkamp at the other end. Bergkamp. Danger here on the overlap. Paganin. A wild effort by the defender. Goal kick. Well, no one is free of the tension tonight, whether you're a player, a manager, a coach, or a spectator, or indeed up here in the commentary box. We've felt the tension as much as anyone.
I'm going for a massage after this game. I've run all over this park with them tonight.
And I've just realised that Inter Milan have made their second substitution there. They sneaked Orlando on almost unnoticed. I think it was Conti, the player who went off, whose place he's taken. Whittingham turning it on. It's given away to Houghton. Now Townsend. Houghton again. Good run by Townsend. Parker. This is King. The clock ticks on. We've had 7 minutes of the second and final period of extra time. Ehiod making a strong run forward. He's done well here, Ehiod. Turns it in, looking for Whittingham. The cross cut out, though. However, Villa get a throw. Conti was the player who went off. Houghton in possession for Aston Villa. Houghton's there again, but just failed to win it back. Fontaine. On it goes to Bergkamp, and here's the other substitute getting his first touch, Orlando. Bergkamp. Sosa. You can't let him get it onto his left foot. Here's Bergkamp. That's a dangerous ball in by Bergkamp, headed away by McGrath. King completing the clearance. Very calm defending then by King. Atkinson, can he raise a gallop for one final time here? Daly and Atkinson. Townsend. Parker. Well done, Gary Parker. Barrett in support. Houghton. Houghton finds space and looks for Atkinson in the middle. It's headed behind for a corner by Pagliuca.
Very patient build-up there from Villa and almost getting a reward. And I think that's what they've got to do. There's a lot of tired legs out there. Let the ball do the work now. That never gets tired, the ball, does it?
Even the ball might get tired tonight. Villa's corner. They've got to make the most of this. Parker takes it, slides it to Houghton. He'll have a shot, possibly. No, back to Staunton. Great effort! Great save.
Again, a reward for a patient build-up there, and they nearly got its reward. Houghton, a great ball here. On his left foot, this keeper's made 3 or 4 great saves at his near post tonight.
The world's most expensive goalkeeper continues to thwart Aston Villa. £7.5 million worth. Can he be beaten one final time? Aston Villa have another corner. 3 in quick succession. Houghton again getting clear from the corner and clips a dangerous ball in. Staunton earns another corner, this time off the substitute Orlando.
It's like a boxing match, they're way ahead on points, but they've got to knock them out, Alan. And they haven't done it yet. Maybe from this one.
Look at all those Villa players massing in the box for Staunton's kick. Pagliuca stretches, and that is superb goalkeeping to catch it then. Look at that, he's saying, what's the problem? Hey, I'm cool, why isn't everyone else? Well, I'm not, and I don't think too many people watching will be. We are into the final 4 minutes, just about, of extra time. So we could face the agonising drama of a penalty shootout. It's getting closer and closer. Ahio. Still time for a real goal. King. Houghton has run himself into the ground tonight. Whittingham does well. Whipped in by King. The clearance drops to Staunton. Wasn't the worst cross. They've dealt with it well, but not for long. And Barrett has done well here. And Whittingham with the chip. Oh, Houghton! Oh, dear, oh dear, oh dear. It was so close.
I've never known tension like it. I mean, I don't know how it hasn't gone in the net. This is brilliant play, by the way, from Whittingham. What a great piece of vision. And look, oh, corner's coming now. We can't keep up with the slow-mos anymore. Even the slow-mos are too quick tonight. Brilliant.
3 minutes to go. Villa could have won it in this moment. How unlucky can you get?
Tremendous vision from Whittingham. Keeper, 7 million, no chance. Off the bar.
Oh, dear, dear.
Straight to Houghton, and it hits Fontelan, I think, and goes just wide.
The chip by Whittingham was perfection. When all around him were losing their heads, Whittingham produced the coolest moment of the night and was denied by the crossbar. Inter Milan have got themselves a free kick. On my watch, we have 2.5 minutes of football to play. Whittingham could have been the hero I was mentioning moments before. Sosa takes the free kick. What an unbelievable thing to do at this stage of the game. If I was his coach there, I would want to know what he was trying then.
It's not unbelievable to see him hit him from that far, is it? Because he does score from 40 yards, but at a time when they've been under constant pressure.
He's given the ball away. It's a sin. Parker. Villa fans have done their bit tonight as well. They've been brilliant. They've responded to their team's brilliance. And here goes Daly and Atkinson. And here comes Houghton. And that's a Villa throw. They've left it to Earl Barrett. short to Houghton. It's another throw. Houghton, Barrett, Parker. Oh, Houghton has been absolutely supreme tonight. And Villa win it back again. Staunton. Headed clear by Festa. But inevitably it goes to a Villa man because they've done all the pressing in this game. If there's any justice in the world, they'll win this tie. Barrett was surely being fouled by Bergkamp. The referee agrees. Well, Ron Atkinson has been involved in some great nights in his long career. I doubt any will match this for memories already. Oh, McGrath slipped at a vital moment and then regained his footing and the ball.
There's so many tired bodies out there now. You feel it's just got to go to penalties. I don't think anyone's got any strength left to shoot from more than 5 or 6 yards.
Well, they've got to summon up the strength to shoot from 12 yards. Somebody, if it does go to penalties. Here's Parker. Staunton whips one final great cross in.
I think what's really amazed me is Villa have done to Inter Milan what you thought Inter Milan would do to Villa. They've passed it around well, they've been very patient.
And just to interrupt there, Kevin, that is the final whistle, that is the end of extra time, that is penalties on the horizon. So the score at the end of 90 minutes and then half an hour's extra time, so Aston Villa leading Inter Milan by 1-0. That meant a 1-1 aggregate draw, and that now means penalties. And there's Jim Barron, Ron Atkinson's assistant, busily scribbling down the names. It's amazing. I always think football clubs, even at this level, don't seem to over-plan things. I'll bet you they're not even sure at the moment who's going to take which penalties. They'll be saying, well, who fancies it, won't they, Kevin?
I think Big Ron was saying, put me down for the first one. But we only time I've been involved in this as a manager was up at Ibrox in the tournament, and we played Man United on the Friday, drew, and it went to penalties. And you look around to see who wants to take them, and I saw Barry Venison having a hamburger behind one of the goals.
So you give him one of the penalties, did you?
No, I went and had a hamburger with him, because, to be honest with you, probably Richardson would have taken one, he's gone off. Saunders certainly would have taken one, he's gone off. So it's not a sort of thing you can plan for. I would say, go round it. I went and asked players, and if they said yes, I thought, you'll do me. And if they stuttered or walked away, I thought, hey, he doesn't want to take one. You know, I mean, let's be honest, whatever happens, even if Villa don't win on penalties, they've won this game in terms of appreciate. I mean, certainly from my point of view, that's the best I've seen Aston Villa play for something like 2 years. I mean, Ron Atkinson will be so proud of them. He'll want to win it. There'll be all sorts of talk whether this is a fair way to end it or not, but I cannot see any point in asking them players to play until there was a goal scored there, because you could see players getting physically almost shattered, and then that's when you get the injuries. And you know, we've already had one hamstring, but you would have got more, and I think this is the only way. It's not ideal, but then I don't think there is an ideal solution.
I've just got one horrible thought at the back of my mind, and I pray I'm wrong. Pagliuca has been in brilliant form for Inter Milan tonight. He's the kind of hero, isn't he? The big, good-looking Italian boy who will fancy the spotlight, all right. I just hope he's not the hero at the end of these penalties. But it's all about courage, I think, now, isn't it? I mean, it seems the simplest thing in the world, isn't it? You place the ball on a tiny white spot 12 yards from goal. You've only got one man standing between you and a goal, the goalkeeper. And he's not even allowed to move his feet. He's not allowed to blink his eye if the referee applies the laws correctly. Got to be easy to score, hasn't it? Is it heck? Is it heck?
Do you think they won't move, Alan? Do you think they'll plant their feet and not blink their eyes? I mean, I think it's accepted that they can move a little bit, even though the rules say they mustn't.
But you sometimes hear non-football people saying, well, they've paid all those thousands of pounds, players, if they can't score from the penalty spot, what are they doing in the game? Well, you've got to say it's all about this, isn't it? It's the pressure and the tension that the crowd generates onto the penalty takers.
Yeah, and the Villa fans tonight have been nothing short of magnificent. I mean, the atmosphere in here, I mean, when you talk about moving England games away from Wembley, it's atmospheres like tonight that make you think that it would help the England team. better, you know, 40,000 in a stadium like this than, you know, 40,000 in Wembley. It's been tremendous, and they've pulled the team. They've done everything they can for the team. The team's done everything they can to win this game, but it's going to be penalties that decide it.
Ron Atkinson trying to pretend to look cool. And the first penalty kick in the shootout will be taken by Giovanni Bier of Inter Milan. 1-0 to Inter Milan. Remember, each team will take 5 penalty kicks, and if they are still level, then at the end of that it will be what they call sudden death, just one each until somebody scores and the other team misses.
He just waited for Nigel Spink to move there. It wouldn't call it a classic penalty, but it's the best one he'll ever take in his life if it ends up winning the tie for Inter Milan.
Gary Parker to try and bring Aston Villa level. Pagliuca got a hand to it. The smile was more relief on Parker's face. It's 1-1 on penalty kicks. And it's the hugely unpopular Dennis Bergkamp who'll come forward to take the next kick for Inter Milan. He scored from the penalty spot in normal play in the first leg. The crowd would love it if he missed this, but he hasn't. Swept high into the net.
Cool as a cucumber. It's usually the big name players, if you think back to when you've seen penalty shootouts in World Cups and whatever, who missed them, but this is a great penalty.
Steve Staunton has the responsibility of keeping the 100% record from the spot intact. 3 penalties so far, 2 to Milan, 1 to Villa. They've all gone in. So's this one.
He's just saying, Ron Atkinson, that's exactly what I would have done if you let me take one. Get your head down and hit it. If it had hit Pagliuca, it took him in the net with it, that one.
Andrea Seno with the 3rd penalty kick for Inter Milan. It's 2-2 at the moment. Oh, he sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Cool as you like. 3-2. Inter Milan edge clear. Another packet of cigarettes comes out of the box for Bianchi.
You can't take a better penalty than that one. Say no can definitely say yes to that penalty. Right in the corner, right into the stanchion.
Andy Townsend has to score this to keep Aston Villa level on penalty kicks. No problem. You can feel the relief just pour out of players when they've done their job and the penalty's gone in.
I'll tell you what's going through the manager's mind. This is a great penalty. What's going through the manager's minds now and the players is who's going to take the 6th penalty, because it looks like they may score 5 each.
One of the substitutes, Fontaine, has the responsibility for his coach to score the next penalty kick for Inter Milan. Both sides have been successful from all 3 of their kicks so far. Oh, he's missed it! Fontaine hits it high into the crowd, and a vital chink of daylight appears for Ron Atkinson and Aston Villa. No more than that at the moment, though.
Like I said before, Andy, it'll probably be someone missing. He leant back and he hit it too hard, and the weight of the ball took it over.
Come on, Guy Whittingham. Come on, the whole of Villa Park is behind you.
Just hit it. Just hit it.
Oh, no! At one moment, joy. In the next instant, dismay. But they're still level on penalties. 3 scored by each side, 1 missed by each side. Oh yes, you can understand his feelings.
I just wanted him to hit it. I felt he was going to place it, but I wanted him to hit it because the pace of the ball's always got a chance of taking it in. But credit to the keeper, made a great save.
Ruben Sosa with the next penalty kick, the last of the official 5 for Inter Milan. Oh, it's at the other side of the bar and come out! If Aston Villa are successful with their 5th penalty kick, they will go through and Inter Milan will go out. And it's Phil King, one of the newest Aston Villa players, signed from Sheffield Wednesday, who has the responsibility of making Villa Park Gloryland.
He'll be the king of Villa Park in more ways than one if he hits it. I hope he just hits it. Don't try and place it. Get your head down and give it a right good smack. And of course, keep it under the bar.
Everyone, quietly, secretly, is praying.
Yes!
You beauty! Fantastic scenes at Villa Park. Thousands of supporters flood onto the pitch. Phil King is the hero. Justice has been done. This penalty kick puts Aston Villa into the next round. It puts Ron Atkinson into champagne time. It puts Inter Milan out, and it puts a real sense of justice and perspective on the night. Villa deserve their triumph. Gary Newbon somewhere down there in the melee.
If you hadn't got that.
I think we've been superb tonight. I asked for a big performance, and these lads have been big. They have given a hell of a performance.
But these penalties are really nerve-wracking.
Never a problem. Never a problem.
It was a wonderful night for you, and it was a pity you had to go to penalties. I mean, it doesn't matter now because you've won.
I know, but we're happy. We're content.
Great performance. The highlight of your career now, Ron.
As good a European result as I've ever known from me personally. But for these people.
Just look at these scenes at Villa Park. This is the first round of the competition. You think they just won the final, and I can understand their feelings entirely. Magnificent night, not just for Villa, Kevin. I'm sure you'll be the first to admit, for English football here.
Yeah, and I don't feel sorry for Inter Milan because I think the best teams won, but they battled the socks off. And I'll tell you what, Arsenal have got a big rival here to retain the Cup Winners' Cup this year. But the supporters have been magnificent. They really have. And the noise, and they've got behind the side, and they've got the rewards.
Phil, worth £1 million that was to Aston Villa, but what a nerve-wracking moment it must have been.
Yeah, at the end of the game, you know, I'd obviously had tired legs. I'd had a bit of cramp in my calves towards the end of the extra time. And just going up there, you know what's at stake, obviously. And I just thought, right, I made up my mind, I'm going to keep my head down. There she goes. Keep my head down and hit it straight and as firm as I can. And he's happy there, and he's a big man.
Just a fair.
And that's what I did, made up my mind early.
I mean, it's all about pressure at that stage, isn't it? From a penalty taker's point of view.
Well, it's all about pressure the whole of the night, you know, not just the penalties.
It would have been an injustice, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've played well. We've hit the bar at the end there. But I think the lads deserved it tonight. We did a good job in San Siro. We felt we could have done a little bit better. But we've come out tonight and shown everybody in the country that we're perhaps getting on back to our best.
Great performance, well done. Great result.
Thank you.
A great night not only for the Villa but for English football as a whole, and what better time to erase the memory of their previous battles against the Milanese. Roll on the second round and another famous scalp for Big Ron.
What we did say was we had to play the game at a high tempo. We hadn't got to let them settle and start knocking their passing routines into shape. We had to condense space and stop the likes, because we hadn't got players in the side to do a man-to-man marking job. So we had to sort of try and contain the likes of Bergkamp and Bertie, who would drop deep into midfield. We had to try and contain them without specifically marking them. And what we said is the nearest player, whoever, as soon as Bergkamp receives or as soon as Bertie receives, somebody goes and pressurises him very quickly.
You know, it was a good team performance. It was needed. We were 1-0 down from the first leg. It was important that we got a goal. Unfortunately, we got the goal at the right time, just before half-time. You could see the second half that they were, shaken by it. And I think the lads performed very well on the night. It was an inviting chance, wasn't it? One really I couldn't miss. Steve Staunton's put a cross in, Dalion's jumped with their central defender, and then we've got a little mix-up in their box, and Bergkamp come off his head, came straight to me, and really I couldn't miss from there.
It was no more than you deserved at that stage, was it?
No, I think we totally dominated the match. I mean, they had the early chance with Bertie when he hit the upright. But apart from that, I didn't think we really had much of the game. Well, I thought 90 minutes we should have won it. You know, we had a few chances to kill the game off, but fair play, their keeper, I think he cost $7.5 million. You know, he showed on the night he's a good keeper. But overall, I thought we deserved to win it in 90 minutes, and we were disappointed that we had to take them to penalties.
You were off the field for those important penalties. After Tranmere, was that a bit of a relief for you?
I think it's just a tactical move, I think. No, I'd complained about my thigh at half time and earlier in the week, and it was just getting worse. And also I didn't know whether I'd done my hamstring or it was cramp. It was actually cramp, but at the same time my thigh was getting worse, so it was rather than having an unfit player on, get one of the lads on that is fit, and because the tempo and that of the game was so quick and we're playing so well, you know, just try to keep it going.
What we said to the boys in the centre circle, like, you know, I nominated who was going to take them, but the pleasing thing from my point of view was there was nobody reluctant. Everybody's, in fact, you know, we were over inundated, if you like. Hugo wanted to take one, Andy Townsend said, I'm taking one. And that was the general attitude. Everybody wanted to take a penalty.
Goalkeeper, you're either the hero or you're on hiding to nothing in one way or the other. You know, you can make saves and be the hero, or, you know, these guys can miss the target completely, as happened against Inter. So, you know, you can end up being the real hero on the night and taking all the headlines, or somebody else takes it for a miss, unluckily enough. But it doesn't matter either way, really, you know, as long as we get through. The lads seemed confident. I mean, they played brilliantly on the night, and they seemed quite confident of, you know, of finishing the job off. However, it had to be done, and you know, really, I'm glad in a way it was him that missed the penalty. So justice was done after the first leg, and you know, everybody was delighted.
What went through your mind as you walked up to put the ball on the spot?
Nothing really. Actually, the ball, Nigel Spink threw me the ball, and I miscontrolled it, and I thought, oh, God, I hope this is not an omen, you know. But as I put it down, I just knew what I was going to do, and did it. Just hit it straight and as hard as I could, and he dived out the way for me. I was so tired I couldn't run off to celebrate. I just turned round and just stood with my hands in the air, and then Hugo come and dragged me to the floor, and I thought, oh no, all the fans piled on top. Oh, we've got to stand up quickly, I'm going to get crushed. The lads, when they knew if I scored it was all over, you know, they come to you and say all the best and slap you on the back of the neck and grab you and push you and whatever you. And I just walked up, you know, I'm just like that anyway. It didn't really affect me in that way. We were there to do a job, and we did it on the night, and I think we did it really well.
The way we played that night, I'm not sure there's many teams in the world would have liked it, because we, you know, the likes of Townsend and Houghton, Staunton we mentioned, Rico, were in terms of work rate, in terms of closing down, were phenomenal. And we also had the intelligence, because we said we've got to play with our brains as well as our hearts. We had the intelligence that when we did win good possession back, we didn't give it away cheaply. We worked on passing the ball against them. And I think what was nice, I think we thoroughly deserved it. I mean, I don't think anyone would have begrudged our victory over a very, very good side over the two games. We had moments in the San Siro where we didn't play as well as I would have liked to. But certainly at Villa Park, we were excellent. 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 We were excellent.